Hello friends, welcome back to my channel English Inkwell. In this video, we are going to discuss a poem that is written by William Butler Yeats or W.B. Yeats. This poem is written in the year of 1919. So, as you all know, that W.B. Yeats was an Irish poet, playwright, novelist, and he is widely regarded as one of the greatest figure of English literature. He also had won the Nobel Prize for his contribution in English literature. So, this poem, the second coming, is one of his important works that we are going to discuss in today's video. So, this was written shortly after the World War One. So, as you all know that the First World War was during from 1914 to 1918. So, just shortly after World War One, that means in 1919, he wrote this poem. So, that time when the world was in a turmoil, so the poem reflects his deep sense of disillusionment or the fear followed by the war or followed by that great destruction. So let's start by analyzing each line by line. The second coming, turning and turning in the widening gyre. So what is gyre and what is turning? Here, gyre refers to a spiral or it's a circular movement which is turning and turning. How it turns in a widening gyre. Widening means it's spreading. How it spreads in a gyre. Gyre means in a vortex, in a spinning movement, in a spiral movement. It's gyring and in it's also spreading. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Who is moving? The falcon. It's a bird. The falcon is moving and he can't hear the falconer. So, what is falcon suggest here? So, falcon, it actually it's a metaphor. So, it's use this metaphor falcon or a bird which represents the civilization or the humanity. Falconer means someone who guide human. That means a guiding force. It may be our moral authority. It may be leadership, or it may be tradition, or it may be our spiritual behavior. So, what does it happens? Let's understand. The gyre widens in a circular movement. That means the world is moving further away from stability. That means everything is becoming out of control. It can't hear the falconer. It became more chaotic. So here turning and turning means something is spinning out of control of. That means the situation is not in control. It's worsening gradually. So the falcons here poet suggests that the falcon cannot hear the falconer. That means falcon is not able to hear the falconer. Falconer means the owner or the guiding force or the spiritual belief. That means during this era, during the social turmoil, the world was full of spiritual emptiness. That's why poet suggests that it was a time of chaotic moment. So, things fall apart, the center cannot hold. What does it means? Things fall apart, breakdown of order, everything is falling apart, whether it's system, whether it's values in society. Can't hold, that means force has weakened. Force means the guiding force, and it can no longer keep things in a balance. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. So, what do we mean by mere? Mere means only. Mere anarchy is loosed. Anarchy means a chaos, a disorder, या फिर lawlessness we can say. Loosed, loosed means anarchy or the disorder that has set free. Okay, the blood dimmed tide is closed and everywhere. The blood dimmed tide means the rise of violence, and bloodshed. What is bloodshed? Bloodshed means it's a killing or killing of people or massacre. that occurred during World War, in First World War. So that means it suggests that the bloodshed, the brutal behavior is increasing. That means it's blurring the world everywhere it's happening. So what happens then? uh, Deemed tide is loosed and everywhere. That means uh, we can't see clearly. Violence has take over everywhere in the world. It's spreading throughout the world. The ceremony of innocence is drowned. What is innocence? What do you mean by innocence? Purity or goodness. This is our moral values. To be drowned means the values are being destroyed or overwhelmed by the surrounding chaos, by the surrounding violence. The image, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. The best lack all conviction. So best means virtuous people, good people. The people, those are really good, those are morally good people. They have lost their conviction. Conviction means they have lost their belief. They are unsure about the future. But the worst are full of passionate. That means worst people are full of passion. Those who are doing wrong, they are full enthusiasm. They are in a enthusiastic way, they are doing everything in a full intensity, in a full determination. They act with much force, and their actions are harmful. Though their actions are harmful, they are in full power, whereas the good people lacks their belief. Okay, let's surely some revelation is at hand. Something is going to happen. Some revelation is at hand. That means maybe it will be a moment of divine, because in every religion we know that at the end of the era, when the bad people will be at the peak, at that moment God takes incarnation. Whether in Christianity, whether in Hinduism, whether in Islamic culture, we always follow this belief that something divine changes will come. Surely the second coming is at hand. That means God has to come for second time. This is written about Christian belief that Christ will return to earth in the last days. Why? To judge the humanity and to establish peace. So surely the revelation is at hand. That means uh, this second coming will definitely come. Christ will take another birth to this world. Surely this second coming is at hand. This second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of spirituous mundi. The second coming, hardly those words out. Hardly those words out. That means it's urgency. That means we are in a fear. We don't know when it will come. Maybe before even finishing the word, before even finishing our thought, something ominous will happen that is going to save the whole world, that will bring a great change, right? So anything or any moment it can happen when a vast image out of spiritus mundi. So spiritus mundi means the world of spirit, vast image, the powerful or the symbolic image of God, or a strong afference will be there, and it will bring a great change. Troubles my sight. So that creature, that powerful image troubles my sight. It That means that image will disturb the poet's sight or our vision, because it appears where? Somewhere in sands of the desert. It appears in a desert. Desert means it's a barren land. Here desert means lifeless place, because the world is in a turmoil, the world is in a problems or in a chaotic world. A safe with lion body. How will be the creature? The safe with the lion body. As you know that lion is a uh, ferocious animal. It's very powerful. So the creature with the body of a lion. That means it will be really very strange. It's a hybrid creature. That means power of ferocity, right? So head of a man means, as you know that human being is more intellectual. So head will be man and body will be ferocious like a lion. So the mix of strength and intelligence here represents something new, but it will be terrifying. A new ruler, or it will be a force that will emerge in the world. A gauge, a blank, and pittiness as the sun. A gauge, blank, and pittiness as a sun. So the creature's gauge, the second coming, the creature that will come, his gaze will be cold. That means, but pittiness as a shone. That means, though it's cold, but it's uncaring. It's full of empty, like a shone which provides us light that is right, but having no compassion on us, is moving its slow thighs while all about it. Thighs means part of a leg, as you know. How it will move? It will start slow. It will start at moving very slowly, slowly. It will move very calmly on the way towards its goal. Okay, so the force is unstoppable, though it will start in a slow way, yet it's unstoppable, and it has no compassion, right? So something might come, something might going to happen. So real shadows of the indignant desert birds. The desert birds, the darkness drops again. Okay, so the desert birds here, in that sand, the desert birds are disturbed. Why? By the creature's arrival. When the giant creatures, having a human brain and lion body, when he will arrive, the indignant reaction, indignant means frustration or anger. The real shadows means confusion as the birds circle to creature, because they're unsure what to do when the creature will arrive. The darkness drops again, but now, no, the darkness return. The darkness drop down again means the darkness return. Speaker now understand that what is now happening, but now no, now I know. That means speaker knows it, that something is going to happen. But I know, okay, that 20th century, that means it has been 2000 years, because Christ was born on 00 AD, so it has been 20th century or 2000 years of stony sleep. Stony sleep means after a period of 2000 years. This is the year of disturbance. Were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. That means, cradle means baby. So when birth of something, cradle means birth of something, but it's not a peaceful birth, because when it was Christ nativity, when Jesus Christ was born, everything was in peace. There was a new aura, there was a bright everywhere in the world. A new lightning was there. But the second time, when the Christ or that giant creature will arrive, it will not be a peaceful birth. Vexed. Vexed means something troubled. Nightmare means the birth of this new force is frightening. It will be very terrifying. Though you will be powerful, yet it will be really terrifying. It will be ferocious. Okay. And what rough beast? It's our home. Come round at last. Okay, what does it mean? It's our, okay, the time for the beast's arrival has finally arrived. So now the time has come when the giant, the beast, will arrive after a long time, after 2000 years. Again, God will take incarnation. Okay, and what rough feast, it's our come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. So slouching means a slow movement, but it's inevitable, anyhow it will arrive. So Bethlehem, it's the symbolic birthplace of Jesus Christ, but here it suggests that the birth is something dark, something destructive rather than a savior. God will probably come, a ruler, a power will come, and will with a great change. That means some the second coming. So here, as we analyzed the poem, that something great is going to happen. A great force, a terrifying force is come to control the world when the world was in a chaotic moment full of disillusionment. That time, the speaker hopes for something new, for something changes. So, I hope you all understood the poem. If this is helpful, I request you all, please give your feedbacks. Have a good time. Bye bye.